answer honestly to 2 questions. 1, if you have ever been or would ever like to be involved in a student group oriented around sexuality or BDSM, and 2, that you're comfortable being recorded and broadcasting live on the internet. Ah, there we go. Excellent. Okay. I'm going to take Rachel and Bitsy and May and Scott. Come on up. Come on up. And if you can, stand where the computers can see you.
Yeah, that's pretty much in front of the podium. Or
Yeah, stand right there. I'm just gonna, I might be off screen, but I can talk really loud. Nobody needs to see me.
You are actually here. This is the corner that's on screen.
This is the corner
Because we are
on screen.
blocked.
Well, alright, well I can only be on one screen at a time. There's too many screens, but in too many directions. But I want to move quickly. Alright, so these lovely people, including May, are your panel. They didn't know, but they've all agreed to be panelists. Turns out. So you, they're not going to answer. You guys do not get to answer right now. Right now, you, who have all luckily avoided being on the panel, are going to ask questions that you want to talk about or you want them to talk about, involving, I would hope, student sexuality groups of one kind or another. Can I have some questions? Oh, come on. How do you make this work? There's space between those words.
By this, sorry, damn pronouns in there.
We'll put that one on. What is this?
How do you convince your educational establishment to let you do this?
Oh, it's really easy at Brown, actually.
Well, it's certainly really easy at Brown, but there are other places.
Like Rick, which is terrifying.
How do you handle confidentiality? What's your favorite answer to me?
It's confident. It's
Oh my God,
confidential.
Let's let her write them all
How do you
down.
deal with establishment? How do you deal with confidentiality?
Media. How do you deal with media?
I'm not qualified for this guy.
How do you?
How do you read my handwriting?
You're qualified if you wanted to be.
How do you deal with confidentiality? What was the next one? What?
How do you forward your goals?
How do
you deal with media was said?
How do you deal with media? I heard that.
How do you get access to funding if you don't feel like officially declaring yourself to like the university?
How do you deal with being officially censored?
I have an idea.
I like that idea.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh!
Okay.
Someone.
All right. Someone here is good with technology.
Of course, he gave PowerPoint.
What else is there? How do you deal with confidentiality? How do you deal with media?
How do you make this work? How do you convince the establishment? How do you forward your goals? How do you get access to funds? And how do you deal with censorship? And I think we're going to stop there because that's a lot of things to talk about, and I bet more things will grow out of them. Surprise, surprise. So, okay. Let's start with, how do you make this work, and what is this? Panelists, how do you make a student group work? Should I start with a smaller question?
Yeah, actually, that's probably a
Start
good
with smaller.
idea. Start with what is.
What is it? What is a student sexuality group?
Censorship.
What is a student sexuality group? Media. Panelists.
Student sexuality groups are usually groups of students that come together. In my experience, often there's some sort of other faculty or sort of student-led sponsor who get together to do advocacy both on and off campus and to provide resources for students who are interested in sexuality issues, either specific to that group or just general sexuality, depending on the face of the group.
Okay, very cool.
And might have social components.
Mhm,
Probably have large social components.
Is it about the social components? What's the social component? Just people who want to hang out together?
Either people who throw a party and they come and eat cookies together and hang out, or somebody who has a specific led discussion. Today we're going to talk about the impact of X character who appeared in X movie on your image as a gay person.
Awesome. Okay, that's very cool. Okay, so how do you convince your governing body, your academic organization, probably, to let you do this? We come from a wide variety of academic organizations here, so we might have some different answers.
Well, a lot of places, if you get together enough students and you write out like an action plan, the faculty will recognize you as a student group and will actually give you a little bit of money.
Pretty cool.
You have to have a pretty clear set of goals that are in line with whatever the body you're presenting to feels is its mission. And at my undergrad institution, the body you would apply for funding is just like enriching student life. So you'd have to defend why it would enrich some people's student lives.
Have you never actually like started an educational group or anything? But, no, academically speaking. I definitely want to second what Fitzy is saying, because one of the things that I found for volunteering for the New York City BDSM education group, University of Birmingham, is that when you can articulate what your goals are and align them with what the universities or academic institutions are, or any other institution, even if it's a business, right? If you can align your goals with them and you kind of show them that light, then they're like, oh yeah, we totally want you to have more college clubs on the campus so that we have more options for students, or we totally want to have education about this particular thing, or we totally want to see you guys learning how to work together, or we totally want to, there's so many ways to tie something in to something else, because everything is really connected ultimately, so I would second that strongly.
Okay.
Can I actually add one thing?
Yeah, of course.
The one thing I would add is that in organizations especially that don't have a really strong student government that hands out funding without intervention, so some universities and most high schools, you really want a faculty liaison of some sort. I know that the high school I went to in Cranston many years ago finally has a GSA this year because one particular administrator buckled down and said, I'm going to make this happen, and got together with like 5 or 6 kids, and together they're actually making it happen.
Also, peer pressure to make good change happen is great. So telling, especially for an Ivy League institution, saying, hey, Harvard did this, will probably get them to do it as well.
That
so
is exactly
comparing what other comparable institutions are doing in terms of policy changes, for example, here at Brown with gender-neutral housing and bathrooms and all that, we're telling them, here's what happened at Wesleyan, here's what happened at Harvard, here's what happened at blah, blah, blah. And it'll, make them want to do things, too, because they want to be the cool kids.
We're trying to do the same
I was
thing right now.
talking about this just a moment ago, and I was thinking that not only peer pressure in that other schools, hey, look, Columbia did it, we can too, but also saying, we talked to the people at Columbia and we've gotten their tips and tricks, and therefore have some sort of connection there and know how to do this.
Also, just on a very practical level, get your paperwork right. 9 times out of 10, the problems that the Conversity of Birmingham volunteers hear from other university, from students at other universities who are trying to start something similar is, we were trying to do this, but then we had to have this form and we didn't do it in time or something. It's okay, well then that's, you really don't want to be caught on a technicality, because especially about sexuality things, people will call you out on every single fucking thing that you fuck up. Everything. And they will be looking for it. So you really have to have your T's crossed and your I's dotted.
Is that a question?
I was going to make a quick comment that this is only if you want the institutional.
That was what I wanted to ask the panelists. Thank you. What if you are not sure you're comfortable registering this group with your university? How do you make it a still productive and effective group? Or is your advice register with the university?
Well, I think there's a follow-up question to that, which is if you don't, then why? What's the point of it if you don't want to register with the
All right, so this gentleman's asking, what's the point of having a group if you don't want to register?
I have an answer for that.
I'm looking for it.
Which is that I feel that campus communities are extremely insular. And maybe some campuses are less insular. If you're in a city, I went to an undergrad institution that was rural. I'm now at a school in a city, and I'm feeling that, no, it's really pretty damn insular. And so even if you have an unofficial group, you're holding something on the campus where other students who are not as out and proud as presumably the people who are pushing the group can get access to the resources.
We need to get resources for that.
All right.
Well, it depends what you want to do.
Depends what resources you want, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
If you want